Hey everybody, this is Calvin Waite. I trade crypto for a living. I'm not a registered or licensed financial advisor, planner, or broker, so nothing on this channel should be taken as a recommendation to buy or sell. I also trade all of these things, so I probably have a vested interest in there. But there's plenty of entertainment value and lots of education, so this will be awesome. For those of you who didn't know, my subscription channel is live. So look at the link in the description over at cryptoinfluencers.com and you can see how I make all of my trades and what I do and what I think about everything. This channel is for more hypothetical and looking at trends, and the other one is for actual trading. So you might be interested in that. Well, hope everyone's having a good day today. Well, look at this. Here we are on the weekly chart. We talked about this yesterday because we had our weekly close. I mentioned that we had a bullish engulfing candle, and somebody was confused and didn't think this was, but it is. This is a bullish engulfing candle, and it should result in 1 to 4 moves to the upside. And it is playing out currently. The fact that we had a bullish engulfing and we stopped right at our prior resistance, this combination here is pretty good recipe for a breakout, which we are seeing. So on the weekly, we are doing exactly what we're hoping to do. The words of caution are at 18,800, we'll probably find some resistance. And we have our 20 battling down, so we've got some work to fight through. But believe me, if we were up here at 18,350, I don't think anyone would be crying. So this is a pretty good move. There's a lot of room to go, even if things ultimately turn bearish. So this is just looking awesome. And look at this day we're having. This is unbelievable. This is so great. I was just pointing out to the pro channel that we are, this was just an ugly close. Very, very ugly. This is very bearish. Normally this is a reversal. So if we start a trend upwards and we see something like this, it's usually a reversal candle. Obviously my targets aren't even close, so this isn't enough to scare me out of my position. I'm waiting patiently for the market to do what I'm hoping for. But I mentioned to the pros that if we get a candle that gets above yesterday's high, it can nullify this. So normally if this becomes our swing high, so if we kind of put in a slightly lower high, even if it's a green candle, this is still in play. It's when this loses its status as the swing high that our candle, that it gets negated. As long as it remains in force, then it has a play to the downside. So today's candle eliminated the risk of this. So we're still trucking, which is awesome. I'll take it. See how this one had a red candle? So this is the inverse of that. We had a move down, and then we had a really long candle. And even though we had another red candle, this still provides support. This is a reversal candle. So even though we had another red day, we didn't break below this low. And so there was no continuation there, and we turned around. So some pretty, these types of things are very subtle. But, when you've done this a little while, this is what we do. So just beautiful. Above the 50, exiting the red and yellow, we're above the 20, and we are starting to see a significant increase in our 50s momentum. So we would love, so that's the thing, you get above the 50, and then you want to pull the 50 up towards price action. So if we can get prices up here for a sustained period of time, we're going to bend the 50 up, and then the higher the 50 is, the better our support will be when we come back down to find it as support. So we don't want to move too fast. Like if we just launch and our 50 is just left in the dust, that doesn't help us. It's just going to create a really volatile return back to the 50. But if we do this kind of slow rise where we're just moving, I know this feels like a monster day, right? Because we just haven't seen anything like this for a while. We're only at 1.5%, guys. This is like nothing. Bitcoin can move 10% if it wants to, and we've seen so much volatility. It's just weird because we've seen just tiny days, 0.3, 0.24, 0.3. The days that we've seen are just less than 0.5% moves. And it's eerie for all of us old guys that have been around Bitcoin for a long time. It's weird to see only a half of or a 1/4% move in a day. Like 1.5%, if that's like the most amazing move that we've seen in a long time, that just tells you how quiet things are. And there's always a quiet before the storm. I feel like a lot of people are going to miss this. If this is the bottom, most people are going to miss this because most people don't expect that the market has found its bottom and has found support and has consolidated all the things that we've talked about. They're not going to realize it until we break above here. They're all looking at 21,400, and if we get a close at like 22,000 or something like that, then the herds will go, oh, wait a minute, something significant has changed. And so this area is a little bit incognito to the people that aren't quite, overanalyzing this on a daily basis like we are. So this is really cool. I'm really, really liking this. But we've got some work to do. We know that we have resistance here at 17.8, and we're about to test it. So I'm thinking if we're closing in an hour and a half and we're closing near the day's high like this, it is probably tomorrow that we will reach up and attempt this. And if we stopped here and turned back really hard, we still haven't put in a higher high. If we can at least match it, it will give us a chance for a whittling away of the resistance that's at this level. So if we can just touch it, it will be major progress. If we miraculously have a close above it, then I will be pretty happy. I'll be pretty excited because I'm expecting this to be a challenging level. But it would be completely normal for us to reject off of the 100. So what normally happens, what we are expecting and hoping for, is that we break the 50 and we go straight to the 100. What we do after that is the question. We can easily retreat, and if we find the 50 as support, especially if we've given us enough time that the 50 is rising up, and we find support off the 50 at a higher level, then our momentum's intact. We're using the 50 as kind of a launch pad, and then we have enough strength to break through the 100, and then we look straight for the 200. This is what we're after. 100, 50, 200, 50, break the 200, and then we're looking for a green zone. So that's how this could play out. Obviously, we've got some work to do. Work not only in movement as far as price movement, but also time. We can't get impatient. We know that there's a lot of levels here, and if we break them too fast, that's just as unhealthy as not breaking them at all. Because if we just pop through and then we just create a giant resistance wick for us, then we're just gonna have to reconsolidate and start over. If we can do this kind of slowly and methodically, we reject off the 100, we go down nice and slow, we find the 50, we build an even stronger base. I mean, that's a recipe for a beautiful bull market. We don't care if the progress is fast. We care if it's steady. A steady trade is way better than a fast trade. That's why I put a lot of exit orders in, because if markets move really fast, I'm ready to exit those because it's too much. It's too much too soon, and markets get really toppy if that happens. Lately, Ocean is the one that's getting there. This one is getting crazy steep, and I'm looking for places to take profits on this because it's well in profit and it's moved up really quickly, and so if it gives a couple more days or something, I'll be looking for an exit. The pro channel knows all about that. So things are looking nice. I really, really like the progress. It's very, very cool that we have negated our downward pressure from this candle, from today's price action. We have a real shot at hitting the 100, and we could do it in the day or two. So that is really cool. Ethereum, we have crossed the 100. So this is the other scenario, and this is obviously the better of the two. We would love to do this. What's probably going to happen here is we're going to break. We broke out of the 50. We broke very strongly, large candle. So large candle to break the 50, so that was with authority. Large candle to break the 100, that was with authority. We might be losing a little steam, so we will probably have a slowdown at the 200 week, which is at 1370, or the 200 day, which is at almost 1400. So if we tag any of these, we will likely retreat, and if we're lucky, we'll retreat slowly. If we can retreat slowly, then the 50 and the 100 will likely be at a cross. That could happen around, let's see, maybe the 17th or 18th of this month. Wow, that's only a week away. Yeah, this thing's moving quickly though, because the slope of our 50 is moving up because these are the candles that we're removing. So we get rid of a couple of these, and our price action's way up here. Our 50 is going to be moving up nice and fast. So we might find a cross right in about a week or two. So if we can kind of sustain this and get some support off the 100 and wait patiently for our 50 to come up, we're ready to really bust out of this. Like, it's getting very tempting. So that's what I'm watching for. I'm already long Ethereum. I've got a pretty good position there, but I'm looking for one more move. And the reason I've been waiting is because Bitcoin has still got some, we're still climbing uphill on Bitcoin. And that's just shown by the weekly chart. You can just see how much resistance is at this line. This 18,800 level is massive resistance. So it may take us more than one attempt at this. And this is weeks away. Like if we had a lucky, the daily's showing that we'll probably reject off the 100 and find some support. So this could be like 3 or 4 weeks before we test this. But if we touch it, we'll probably retreat. And as long as our retreat is not below these lows, we'll have a chance to test it again, and then we might get out of here. But I'm hoping maybe. But look at that. That's like March, April. So these things take time. We don't need to try to do this all in one day. So looking good. The things that I'm seeing on Ethereum's weekly chart, we are testing the upper range of a channel that started back in January of last year. So this channel is a year old. This is the peak where it began. This is an anomaly. So is this. And so ever since then, we've been tight in this channel. And we're trading in it. So since August of last year, we've been moving in and out of this channel, both sides, lots of touch points. But the cool thing about a declining channel is that as long as your asset is pretty strong, you have a lot stronger chance of breaking out the top than the bottom. The bottom can fall out, and you can definitely fall out, but the cool thing is that just going sideways breaks you out, as well as going up breaks you out. So you've got 2 scenarios of breaking out the top side, and only 1 scenario of dropping out the bottom side. And where our weekly close happened right on our 50-month, and we're starting a brand new day, that is huge. And you can see that we're butting up against the 20. I don't think the 20 is important because we didn't respect it here, we didn't respect it here, we didn't respect it here or here. It came into play here. But even back here, we didn't do much with it. So the 20 is not really a huge piece of Ethereum, but this downward declining resistance is. So how we play with this week is going to be very important. So if we can climb up to the 200 week, that would be very strong because we would have crossed this declining resistance. We'd have crossed the 20 week moving average, and we'll be positioned to attempt a break of the 200. 200 is a big line. It was important back here as resistance, and it was important right here as support. And we did touch it once for resistance here, so it's absolutely in play. A move above the 200 will be probably the this will probably be the start of a bull market because this is definitely holding us down at this point. So really cool things, really neat. I'm just so impressed that we held on to our gains yesterday. So I'm looking at the others chart. This is all the micro cap cryptos. We broke out of the red zone, and we had a pretty ugly candle yesterday, and we held on to our gains. So that is unbelievable. If you just remove Bitcoin and Ethereum and just look at the larger coins, we did manage all the alts and the larger ones. We did exit the red zone. So today, a lot of alts, a lot of these other coins are really starting to shake up. You can see it. I mean, obviously, you just pick on any of these, and you can see that they've come off their bottoms. They're starting on new resistance. So like here's SHIB. You just have a lot of these that are reaching for the sky, and it's almost all the way across the board. And so all of us on the Pro channel, we've had a sweet gain so far, and hopefully that can continue. But we caught all of these right in here, right when we saw that move changing. You can see how we started dipping our head above the 20, came back and found it as support, and we were in. And then we just, like, this wasn't always the expected result. And usually after a move like this, you would expect a retracement pretty good because it's too fast. But somehow we're hanging on. And if we hang on, for long enough, we'll have a nice, beautiful bear flag, and then we go again. So that's what we're looking for. So fun markets. I'm really watching this, enjoying every little move, anticipating, what will happen next. And every day we get another data point, and we add it to what we know already, and helps us kind of see what could come next. So I know some of you were curious about the matcher. So the matcher has found a couple of bearish scenarios, but because our price is so flat, it's easy to match almost anything that's moving flat. So even though our variance is really small, about 8% variance, and our worst case was 11, it's just because all of these cases are very, very flat. So there are some extremes. There's the 2018 thing that is still here, but there's quite a few cases of 2012, which this is odd because this is the $5 range back in 2012. Like that is very, very flat, very, very unusual. So anyway, this isn't telling us a whole thing because it's really bipolar. There's a really strong upside, and then there's really strong downside. So we're just going to let the market do it. This isn't really adding a ton to our information. That's why I hadn't brought it up for the past few days. But there are, it's Bitcoin. We hang on through the sideways consolidations. We hang on. We're patient through the bear market, and then we're rewarded by being in at the right time. So pretty awesome. Okay, we have the live stream tomorrow. So I hope you can join me. I'll just be streaming just like what I did before on all the different platforms. Hopefully LinkedIn will work this time, so we'll see if everything works the way it should. But yeah, tomorrow, 12:30 Mountain Time is the time that I'll be streaming, and hopefully you can come, ask questions, and hopefully we'll have some good things to talk about. Okay, all right, thanks everybody. We will catch you on tomorrow. Thanks for making it to the end of my video. Make sure you keep those trades small. Don't force a trade. Don't get impatient. And if you want to see how all this works, please come over and check me out on the subscription channel at cryptoinfluencers.com. Again, the link is in the description.